Ladies and gentlemen, I have a real treat for you. I'm here in Melbourne, Australia, at the AIMS, which is the Australian International Music Show, with one of my all-time favorite guitar pickers. He's here from USA, and I heard him last night, and he blew the roof off of the place.
Come on,
yeah. Red Volkaert, how you doing, Red? Welcome to Australia.
Thank you, John. Great. I'm doing really good. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to do this, because I know you got a workshop coming right up here, and everybody wants to hear you play. And I really was amazed by your wizardry on the guitar last night. Of course, everybody knows that you play a Telecaster, and you were getting a lot of sounds out of that instrument, and sometimes it sounded like a steel guitar, and I didn't see any whammy bar or no Bigsby or anything like that, and it looked like you had a special pickup there near the. What kind of pickup is that there?
The neck pickup is a Lawler made by Jason Lawler, and I think he's in Washington State. Makes pickups, and this guitar is an Australian guitar named Tompkins Guitars, Tomkins, and made in Sydney, and I had it custom made by them, and I had the Lawlers put in because I wanted his Charlie Christian neck pickup as the model that the pickup is fashioned after, which was a 30s Gibson jazz box, like an ES-150, that came with the single blade pickup in it in the 30s, and Charlie Christian, famous jazz guy, used that particular guitar, a 150 and a 250 with that pickup. So the pickup kind of got nicknamed a Charlie Christian pickup. So nowadays guys call that ES-150 pickup a Charlie Christian model pickup.
I see.
So I had that. Jason makes them. He researched them for years and got really close with the sound of them without all the hum and buzz of the old 30s ones.
Right.
So when I had this guitar made, I had called Jason and said, hey, can I get a set, your neck pickup, but make me a bridge one to match the volume and the level and all the impedance and stuff, so all of that lines up and matches up as a pair. So he made a bridge one to match that fits a regular Telecaster style bobbin that fits in the hole and everything. So I got those two pickups in the Tompkins guitar, and they're just it's a real good combination.
Yeah, yours sounded nice. I really enjoyed your sound, and I heard that at home you got some acoustic guitars, the same ones that Doc Watson plays. Do you know Doc personally? Have you played with him?
No, I opened for him a few times with a little bluegrass band in Santa Cruz in the middle 80s. So I got to meet him, but I don't know him or nothing. And of course, being a big fan of his playing.
Yeah, me too.
And when the first Gallagher guitar that I bought, I was living in Los Angeles, and I walked in a pawn shop, and this thing's hanging there, and they had no idea what it was. So it was a G70 like his, it's their version of a D28 ebony fingerboard, rosewood sides and back, and it was a 71 model, so it would have been Brazilian rosewood body, which today is unheard of, and you can't get it anymore. And it's, magic wood by a lot of guys' thoughts, Anyway, I got this thing for $300 in a pawn shop.
Wow.
And that was my first one. And then when I moved to Nashville, I got, there's a fellow named Tommy Flint, who is a ragtime guitar player that had some lesson books through Mel Bay book course, and they had made him a custom ragtime guitar. He wore the thing out. It was an 81. And he traded it to a guy in Nashville, a steel player, and the steel player didn't want it, so I traded an amp for that one.
Wow.
But it was wore out. It needed a new fretboard, and it was some neck reset and a bunch of work. But they're just killer guitars, and then I bought one more here 5-6 years ago, another G70 that's a 84, and it's a fantastic. So I got 3 of those things. I just think they're fantastic guitars, and the two dreadnoughts, one's Brazilian, one's Indian, so they sound different. So of course they record differently. And then the little guy is the Tommy Flint one is a ragtime. It's like a 00 Martin size with a single cutaway, and it's like an electric. It just plays so easy. It's fun to play. So when I do any live acoustic things, I use that guitar because it's small and it's really easy to handle and it sounds great. It's mahogany body, but yeah, they're just wonderful.
You sure got your own sound, you know, and I've heard a lot of cats play, but your sound really is distinctive, and it sounds like in some ways you're like me. I'm an old Fender amp freak, you know.
Right, yeah.
I'm very fortunate to have a couple of old Fender amps. My very first professional amp was 1964 Blondie Bandmaster.
Oh yeah,
piggyback, you know.
Bet.
And so like, I don't know, I'd like to keep those around me, you know. It sounds like you got a nice stable of old Fender amps, or you got some Tweeds, and you got some old twin reverbs. And
yeah, I got two old Tweed twins, a 60 Bassman, a 58 Fender Harvard.
Yeah, those Bassman heads, they're great, right?
No, it's a 410 one-piece combo.
The one-piece
Yeah,
combo.
it's a Tweed. So I guess 60 was the last year of the single combo unit.
Right.
410s, like a Super with no reverb.
Did you ever get to meet Leo Fender?
Oh yeah, I played when I lived in Los Angeles. I got to play for a G&L Christmas party a couple of times with actually the Telecasters before they were the Telecasters.
Wow.
We played a bunch of parties for different companies and stuff out there in LA, and I got to meet him then.
Wow, I just got to meet him one time just by good fortune. He was with Dale Hyatt, you know.
Yeah.
I was way back from Frankfurt. And
he was a nice fella too.
yeah, he really was, and
genuine.
He was one of my heroes for sure. Well, you know, you've done a lot of work with Merle Haggard. How's Merle these days? He's hanging in there?
He's doing great. Yeah, he's cut back on work. You know, he's I don't want to say 76, I think now, something like that.
He's a real survivor.
But he's still out there working, you know, and he loves.
Still living in Bakersfield?
No, he lives up in Redding in Palisadro, California, by Redding.
Oh yeah.
Up in the Lake Shasta area. He's been up there for a long time and got a nice big home and a studio there, and cuts all of his own records there at home, and done it for years. And so he still records a lot, and he's got a son playing with him now, Benny. Is playing lead guitar with him now, and he's doing great. He's 17, almost 18.
Wow.
Yeah, doing
That's
really
fantastic.
good. Yeah.
Well, he's a Telecaster guy too, right?
Oh, big time. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask you about Red Sovine. So you recorded with him?
No, I just played when I was a kid. I played in a house band up in Vancouver, Canada, at this country club that brought in a bunch of singers. Every weekend they would bring in Nashville people, and our band would back them up.
Wow.
And one time, or actually a couple of times, they brought in Red Sovine.
No kidding.
So I got to back him up. I was about 15 or 16 at the time.
Holy
playing
moly.
in this house band, and we got to back up a whole bunch of Kenny Rogers before he made his comeback, and Vern Gosden, and a bunch of the country people, you know. And Red Sovine was one of them, and he was just the sweetest guy in the world, and easy going, laid back, and
Well, I love that teddy bear. You know, and
he could talk better than anybody in a song.
You know, that's a real tearjerker. And I went to Nashville only one time in my life, and I met Billy Joe Burnett, you know, from Badger Records, and he was the co-writer of Teddy Bear, so we played that many times on our show.
How cool.
And so that's really great that you got to play along with them, and you play with so many great people. You're based in Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas.
I live in Austin now. I've been there 10 years. I was in Nashville before that.
A lot of
for
playing
11
going
years.
on there, right?
Lots of live music, tons of it.
Willie Nelson is not too far from there, right?
No, he's in Spicewood, which is about 30 minutes toward the hills, kind of.
So have you played with Willie too?
Yeah, with Merle, we did lots of shows together.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah, he's got that old guitar trigger.
That old Martin. That thing is beat up.
Yeah, man.
But still sounds great.
Yeah, well, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I want to let our listeners know out there about anything that you'd like to push. You got any solo albums or anything that you particularly want to let everybody
I've
know
got all
about?
kinds
and
of
your website.
Lots of propaganda. I got it on my website. It's www.redvolkaert.com.
That's two D's.
Red with two D's and VOLKAERT.com, and I got it's under the Feed and Seed Supplies. on my website.
All right.
And I got 4 different CDs of my own, and I have a lesson lick sort of video DVD combination. It's a 40-minute concert with my band on the tape as well, and that also is available through Hal Leonard. And but I sell all that stuff on my website, and
All
you
right,
can
great.
just click and spend your money like crazy on there.
All right, yeah, folks, definitely check that out, and I recommend, if you haven't checked out Red, if you're a guitar aficionado, you're going to get a whole lot of stuff to listen to that sounds great. It's very musical. Your intonation is unbelievable. You got so many nice sounds out there. It's just great,
thank you.
Great, good old music, you know. So thanks a lot, Red, for your time. Before we get out of here, we're on KYOU Radio in San Francisco and streaming all over the world on the CBS radio network. What have you got to say to our listeners on KYOU?
I think that you should listen to this station as much as you can, and then you should go to my website and buy all you can.
Right on.
And keep on being you.
Right on. Thanks a lot, Red.
Thank you.
All right, man. You're the man. All right, thanks. How's your Chihuahua doing?